August the 2nd, there was 3 women went to the wells. I call the girls girls, okay, but they're grown women. They went to the wells, they cleaned upstairs, cleaned up very good. But anyway, someone was in the woods, they heard the driveway alarm go off. 2 people went down the driveway, one chased the guy through the woods screaming, "I'm gonna kill you, you SOB," okay? Candace jumped in her vehicle. About that time, the girl that was in the woods, JodiSue, pulled up into the driveway, started screaming for Candace and blowing her horn.
This is multiple days. She's not talking about the day that they witnessed it. We will have an interview with those people too. We just have to work with everybody's schedule.
Okay, so she saw with her own eyes JodiSue's son coming out of the woods. JodiSue, when she said something to them, JodiSue said no, he was just checking my mailbox. She said he wasn't checking the mailbox. I chased him through the woods. He come out of the woods. Okay, then Candace said, no, he's just checking her mailbox. He's alright. So nothing was ever said other than between us about it.
Right.
So then we was up there. Me, my son-in-law, and my daughter. Me and my daughter was in the house with Candace. My son-in-law was unloading the wood, stacking it up. He seen a person in the woods. White t-shirt, blue jeans. I got a picture sent to me tonight of JodiSue's son.
Here, I'm going to pull that up right now.
Okay, when I showed you that picture of JodiSue's son, what did you say about the person in the woods?
Oh, that was him.
That's him? That's who you saw that day in the woods. Okay.
Yeah, he was just right down at the bottom of the hill and everything else. I mean, I could see him plain as day.
He took off through the woods behind Grandma's camper because, you know, that hill right there is straight down.
Right.
And so he run that way. Sis and them went the front way of the camper and went towards the dog trail. And I jumped in my truck. There was no vehicles around, okay?
Okay.
Now, is this suspicious? Yes. Are we accusing him of anything? No. When I did question Candace the next time about it, she told me, well, he would have come up the driveway. I said, I thought he was a little kid. I didn't know he was a grown-ass man at this time, right?
Right.
I'm thinking it's JodiSue's son's a kid. And I'm like, 16, 17 years old. And so I'm like, Candace, I said, would you think that would be JodiSue's son? I said, since they seen him come out of the woods, and that was down there that day just being nosy, trying to find out who was up here. And she said no, said he would walk up the driveway. Well, he didn't walk up the driveway. And we've got 2 people.
2 different occasions, yeah.
And my son-in-law that has verified it was her son in those woods.
What in the fuck would it make a damn? The price of eggs in China. Months after summer vanished. Somebody please explain.
So, if it happened on those 2 occasions, how many more times did it happen that he was not witnessed? We don't know for a fact that he did any other times. We are just saying it could have happened. And we are also saying it could have happened before Summer went missing.
Now that was, I know at that point in time, was there cameras put up at that time or not?
No, they was put up right after that.
Okay, because of this.
From my understanding, because of people trespassing on the property.
Now, what the problem is the response that was given the day that this information came out. It was said, that they were a bunch of tweakers up there that are saying this, were chasing people that weren't there through the woods with a knife. Why come out and say that about people that were 100% not tweakers running around chasing people? That's what makes That's what brought red flags up.
You better ask them what the fuck these witnesses were doing. Tweaking the fuck out. Well, up there, helping build my ass. It's called twacked the fuck out. Because apparently, there's going to be an interview here in a little while. As of the little thing that came out 10 hours ago. It says they're going to interview this witness. Right, this witness that didn't report this shit till December. That witness. That if they actually reported anything, it was bullshit. And they need to go their asses right back to the police and explain that. But they waited till December.
They was saying something about it not being reported until around November.
Yeah, December.
On another creator's channel.
Yeah.
Okay, that creator is the one that got them to call it in. The only reason that it wasn't called in is they figured maybe Candace reported it, but it was because of Candace's own reaction, more or less, I guess you would say agreeing with JodiSue that he was checking the mailbox and more or less defending him in a way, I guess you would call it.
Well,
because of the fact, you know, she's saying it's okay and she's trying to say he didn't, you know, she didn't see him come out of the woods, but he come out of the woods. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And she's just going along with JodiSue, but that is the same very day that JodiSue told these people the footprints was real, okay, the scream was real, told them about the vehicle.
This was the first time that
yes.
That was the first time that that information was talked about, was then, right there at the bottom of that driveway.
Correct.
So, but make it clear what side of the road. So, you know, JodiSue's property is on the opposite road. Well, I guess Andy's property, opposite side of Ben Hill. Right. Where did the person, allegedly her son, come out of the woods? On the well side.
On the well side of the property, he come out of the woods. He was not checking the mailbox. He came out of the woods.
People, it's been reported, people that do things, what if, you know, we'll go back to the scene of it, and that they will go and try to see what's going on, to, you know, to make sure they're, you know, maybe not on the radar, or, you know, even if you want to be to go into a little deeper and speculate, you could say, well, maybe they thought they dropped something, maybe they thought they did this to creep around.
We're not saying he done anything wrong. I mean, he could just be a nosy neighbor trying to find out who was up there. But there again, I'll agree with Candace on that. If that was the case, why didn't he walk up the driveway?
Right.
If he was so used to going to that home, why are you sneaking through the woods on two separate occasions?
Right.
At this point in time, when Candace was asked about JodiSue, they got along great. She had nothing bad to say about her.
No, she didn't. And she was down there talking to her that day per them, okay?
Right.
And I talk to these people every single day. But she was down there talking to her, asking her if she needed anything. She told them all about the vehicle that pulled in the driveway, hearing the door, hearing the scream, verifying the footprints was really true, the whole 50 yards.
And I guarantee you, most likely, because I can still hear that one's voice in my fucking head, because she wouldn't get out of my fucking face, dude. And it was half the reason, like, the English, I mean, it got so severe that it spelled it. Because the fucking tweaker wouldn't get the fuck out of my face and bounced around. Man, I'm telling you.
But
Right. So,
and Candace said she needed anything, holler at her. And then the whole time, she's always talked good about her, and then all of a sudden, she flipped script.
there's a group of people that feel like that he shouldn't even be looked into at all. Why is that?
Well,
Everybody should.
Be looked into. Everybody should be looked into. I don't care if they're 15 years old.
Yeah.
Green County, 20 minutes up the road. got a juvenile arrested for a double murder, a grandmother and a 7-year-old child.
Right.
We got a missing person. Be 6 years Thanksgiving, no body, no arrest.
That's right.
20 minutes up the road.
So that's the thing, you know, it's not unheard of, but that's not the case here. This guy is not a minor. He is a grown man, and he's over the age of 18. You can even say, oh, they're just coming out of their teenage years, but he's been out of them for got to be 20.
If he's not already.
If he's not already.
We don't know when his birthday is.
But if he's welcome on that property, why are you sneaking around through the woods?
Right.
Right.
And it's not.
And it seems at that time he would have been welcome on that property from the way that Candace reacted.
Exactly.
And so you would have thought if he was even if he was just being nosy, he could have walked up the driveway and
just started talking to people.
Struck up a conversation.
And that's what I'm saying. So why are you sneaking through the woods? But even his own mother said he played with the boys. He went up to Candace's all the time, and the boys come over there. On her own videos, the first 16 that she made. Okay.
Now look, I got this picture of the aerial view of the Wells house. Can you help me to point it out? Can you see my mouse here?
Hold on.
So the wood pile was over here near the shed. I'll just go ahead and say that that's where her son-in-law, who was working on the property. Now you're talking about the little shed, right?
Yes, the little shed right down from where the door is.
Yeah, so somewhere right here.
Do you know where we set up? Because you was the that day we had it set up to saw wood.
Yeah, where the sawhorses were.
That pile was straight out across from it.
Yeah, I've got a little marker there. If you pull up, you can probably see it. Might be delayed on the YouTube. Okay, so where did he see him at?
Down off that. Okay, you know how that steep bank is right there. It goes straight down.
Right here, going past the front door?
Grandma's camper. You know Grandma's camper.
Okay.
Okay, if you come up towards the wood pile from Grandma's camper.
Yeah.
He was right in that area in those woods, and you know you can see all the way through there right there.
That close or down at the bottom of the hill, like down off the bank?
He was about halfway, Bobby, between the bottom of the bank. He was about halfway between the bottom of the bank and the top when he went and seen him.
So you're talking about like back here?
He ran back down towards the road behind Grandma's camper.
Oh, so you're back down towards like beach. Oh, okay. You're talking about like back down towards Ben Hill.
Yes.
Okay.
He ran back down towards Ben Hill.
So
where the road, and they took off and went down towards the dog trail.
And they kind of
where the hell he went, nobody knows.
Right now, on the other day, I think when the other people saw, where did they see him at?
I don't know where they originally seen him. All I know is she chased him through the woods.
Well, this is where I thought was down here near this bus trail.
Now I do know that he come out of the woods. He crossed the driveway because the alarm went off, and he come out of the woods on the other side of the driveway.
Okay.
And she watched him come out of the woods, okay?
So the way that it was explained to us by the other person who witnessed that day was that he came from around the bus trail area, and he came out of the woods right there near the bus trail and onto the driveway, and that it kept making the alarm go off.
Look, that's a good question. People are saying could August the 2nd, and then 2 weeks after that is the date. So people just said, could that campsite be somewhere that was hung out or somewhere? Possibly. We don't. That's speculation. I don't know. I'm just telling you that so if he was around in the woods, I mean, if you're traveling them woods and you know how to go, I guess, traverse through it. Yeah, that would have been over this way on the other side of Simpson Road. This right here is not as far. This gap of woods right here. Hold on. I'll mark it with a measured distance here. This little.
Yeah, they're not that long.
That's not that far. It looks like, but that, like I said, this right here is 772 feet.
But that side of where the campsite was a drop off.
Yeah, that's
Basically.
a drop off. But if you can get up there,
Right.
some other route that I didn't know of, then I guess, I mean, it's all possible. If you can traverse those woods and just disappear in them like that, then, I mean, you've probably known them and you've probably been in them a lot.
When I said something about the footprints to Candace, she let on to me that she hadn't heard about it.
Same to us.
Same thing to us.
And that was in November. You're saying
Well-
Jody Sue told her about them that day?
Yes,
Right.
And told her about the scream?
yes.
And so,
Because, see, I went and questioned him on that when she was telling me about all that. I said, did she say those footprints was real? And she went and said, yes. Said Jody Sue said the footprints was real. She heard the scream, she heard the vehicle, and she heard the vehicle door.
now I have the messages too to contradict what that Jody Sue did. Then went and told us that they weren't real. I have the messages between, because this was very early on when I asked. She said, "You know those footprints aren't real." I said, "So that property owner isn't credible?" And she said, "No, he is." Well, maybe the police just told me that to throw me off. Well, I have those messages.
I want to say, Lady R said, so her mailbox is definitely not near the Wells driveway alarm. Just saying. I want to comment on that and say even the Wells mailbox is not near their driveway alarm.
That's true. That driveway alarm is pretty.
That it was not at nighttime. So Jody Sue was wrong about him not being in the woods. Jody Sue was wrong about it being nighttime. Jody Sue was wrong about you guys being tweakers.
Yeah,
Jody Sue was wrong. If you can take what Fred Hill says with my community post last night, Jody Sue saying that there was never a pool up there. And I have a picture
There was for 100%.
on May 2nd of 2021, 6 weeks before Summer disappeared,
Yep.
that a 19-year-old kid could very easily have fit in with Summer without question. Allegedly, by two eyewitnesses' accounts, yours and that gentleman, Andy, or their son, was on the property in broad daylight.
Five different people, because there was two different occasions this happened, and the other three ladies are going to be coming on to do a second interview to talk about that too.
So now we go back to the footprints. So Jody Sue said the footprints were real, and then she tells you that the footprints weren't real, and you have the messages to prove that.
Yeah.
Okay, so how much misinformation have we seen come from Jody Sue Brown in 24 to 36 hours?
Right.
Now let me ask you, with that much misinformation coming out of one person, you've got to ask yourself why.
So then that leads you to say, so when law enforcement says the scream is unfounded, because I even said forever, I said, how can they say three people didn't hear what they hear? Well, if they know now that somebody is not telling truths, they try to say it in a nice way. Now why that brings that up, why they said that.
He said, and he also told us Summer was killed Saturday.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He just gonna try to pump me for see what I know and what's been said.
Mm-hmm. Or what you're saying.
There's a lot of Angie and Andrew involved.
Is she a sex offender too? No, but I think she was messing up. I think she's one of Andrews and Andy.
Well, Andy, which is Jody Sue's man. Then see, they got a son named Andy.
Alright, but after he mentions her son's name, he says,
He's not to do anything. I mean,
Really?
which he's not to do anything. I mean,
Really?
I seen him actually in the swimming pool and stuff over there at Dawn, Kansas with Summer at one time. Like that. Before she went missing, you know. The swimming pool that used to be there that wasn't there when she supposedly went missing, but it was there like a couple weeks before. A big swimming pool.
Right. Where did that go?
Yeah, that's what I was cousin.
That's what somebody else said.
Where did that? That where that Red Barrel set, which they show at Red Barrel and stuff. That swimming pool set right there.
Was it
I mean, it's a 4-foot pool.
Was it there the day someone went missing?
No. They were gone the day she was missing. That's what I didn't know.
But maybe...
Why is that swimming pool gone all of a sudden?
I know, right?
Been up here.
Right in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
You know, right
Now
when it's
when
hot.
summer's really getting ready to start,
Yeah,
you know.
right, that's true. It was just the beginning of summer, you're right.
And they done